All right. Welcome back, Nico. Thank you for coming on over.
Yeah. It's your boy
Yeah.
Nico. We're
Oh,
here.
with
We over. We coming. Wait, that sounded okay.
I'm
Hold
coming all the time, like literally.
we coming all
Um,
over.
yeah. Would you rather be coming all the time or not coming at all?
Oh, oh. Now
Yeah.
hold up. Okay, let me. Damn. Okay, hold on. Now, when you coming all the time, are you still feeling that? Are we just talking about ejaculating? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like physically, or do you still have that, that dopamine hit and you kind of still feeling that, like, oh, damn, when your toes get all
You get
crinkly and all
it.
that?
It's just like normal. Like if you're jerking off in your employer's bathroom, it's
Right.
not going to feel as good as if you were at home on the couch and you
Okay.
just had ultimate peace. Like you get the dopamine hit depending on where you're at.
Okay, but if I never get to come, do I still get the that euphoria or no?
No, you're just like rock hard and then nothing happens.
Oh, dude, no.
Yeah, yeah. Like and then like the only thing it does is like when you're done, it's like you just lose the boner. Like that's it. Like you just see something or think of something really gross and it just goes away.
Damn, dude. Shit, man. I don't know. Like, I think I'd because I want to have kids, right? So will they be able to like extract the semen out of me? Do I still have semen? Do I still produce semen?
Yes, you do.
Okay, then I think I would just go in vitro and then just not come, but at least have a working dick and be able to perform in bed. But
And
damn, that's a hard one, dude.
that's why I think honestly, I'm gonna go coming all the time, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like have you ever just walked outside like this? If you could see my view right now of just these beautiful pine trees, the only thing that would make this better is just like an ejaculation. Like
Okay,
it
but
would
like,
be perfect.
right? Okay, but then like, is it under control? Like, are you how like
Oh no,
cleanup, man? How is that gonna be handled? The whole
I'm gonna
cleanup.
wear. I'll wear like Depends, like adult diapers. I don't know.
Oh, dude, no, man. I think
Cross
no, man.
cross that bridge when I get to
Yeah,
it. Just
yeah,
coming
that's
all the time,
crazy.
dude. Like we talk about this day and age where everything is just like ultimate ecstasy. Like there's one step above that, and it's just to come all the time. That's hilarious.
Damn, that was a hard one,
Yep.
literally. Damn. Well, see, like now I gotta think of something. Hold up.
Some
I'm gonna
thought
think of.
provoking shit right there, right?
Oh yeah. Damn.
That's funny.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like. I mean, I was thinking of one now, but like, it's not as tough. I think like I was gonna say, like, would you rather give up sex or your favorite food? And I'm talking like your favorite food.
Ooh, ooh.
Like that one's not as thought, but it's still kind of like something you have to think about because I mean,
Well, the thing
I
is
love food
like
and I love sex. So.
like it, man. So what I would do, just based on my personality, is like I'm gonna have to keep sex. Fuck
Mm,
food. Like I'm just gonna be,
that's
maybe I'll lose some weight.
that's fair.
you,
I mean,
you
for
know.
sure, you're gonna be at a deficit for sure. That cardio is gonna be on point. Yeah.
I actually didn't even think about that. The cardio advantages to always just pumping.
Oh yeah. But then like you can never have your favorite food. But then again, like I have foods that are like I really like. They're not my favorite, but I really like.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I have to give up my favorite food, that's fine. I still have like foods that I like that are not my favorite that I could still
Well,
have. So that one's not as hard. But
well, then would you okay if you flip that on its head? Then would you give up sex or have to eat the shittiest food? I guess. Like if you keep the sex, you have to eat only the shitty foods,
mm, yeah,
and if you get rid of the sex, you can only eat the best foods, like the foods that you like. Which one
yeah.
would you
I
go?
think I think I'm a still. I'm still go like to keep sex because I don't want to. I mean, food is great, but like you kind of said, like if you let's say you chose the food, uh, you'd definitely be on the fast track to being obese in like no time, dude. Like,
Yeah.
because you'd be depressed. I mean, you gotta. Plus, if you're coming all the time, like you are,
Dude, I feel like that would be great. That would be like you're coming all the time, not having any sex, and you're just
just
eating the
having
best food.
just
Just
wolfing
eating.
down pizza or whatever you.
No, just fucking T-bone steaks and jizz, dude, all day long.
Oh, damn.
What a life. I would, oh my God, I would live like a king.
Damn, boy, I learned a lot about you today. Okay, well, okay, on the topic, since we're kind of talking, would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Ooh.
Because then how would you do those things that we were talking about?
Oh man. I'm gonna have, wait, hands for feet.
Or feet for hands?
Dude, I'm gonna go hands for feet. I will be a straight animal. How many times have you been in a situation where you wanted more than like two hands? You
Oh,
know, like
yeah.
you want to hold just
When I'm
that.
jacking off.
No, it's like I'm always caught in a situation. It's like, do I hold her ass or grab her boobs, right? You
Mm.
know, and then
But they'll
now,
probably that first time they'll probably freak out. Like they might see both your hands on you, like on
Mhm.
both your hands on her, and then she noticed another hand. She'd be like, "What?"
What do you say? What do you say in that situation? Oh, what is that? You know, what do you say? Relax, baby.
That's my fourth hand. Don't worry about that. Yeah, that'd be. I mean, yeah, I think I would too. Just like even not talking about sex, like just on a practical side of just life, running on hands. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Like
but
you'd
what
be
about punching
crazy
with
climber.
feet, dude?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I would rather keep my hands, like my hands, and then on my feet have another set of hands.
Yeah, but I
So
think there's an underrated side of having feet for hands.
nah, dude, because you couldn't make a fist. You couldn't clench your foot.
Have you ever been healed in the face?
But you could do that with the palm, like the base of your hand.
I think the real question is do you have
The
to
power
wear?
the power of the feet comes with the legs. That's where it comes. But your arms might not hold that same weight that your legs might have. So what you're thinking of like kicking someone in the face, like heels or whatever, I don't know if that would translate as well if your feet were on your hands.
I would do cartwheels nonstop. But are you wearing gloves or shoes?
Mmm.
You know,
Damn.
like
I'd had some custom made shoes
yeah,
for my hands, my feet hands.
yeah. I
Like
would tape them. I would tape them up and hide them. I would be ashamed.
would you really? I would
Yeah,
be. I mean, at first, as a kid, probably they'll, at school they'll probably bully you and call you the hand. Probably, I mean, they'll probably do something with monkeys or something, but
that's been done. That's been done. I'm sure.
Mr. Handy or Bob the Builder Handyman. I don't know. Like they'll call you something, but I think like as an adult, like what after you go through like a whole depression phase or whatever, I think you'd come to terms with it, and then eventually just embrace the fact that you have cool ass hands as feet. Because I mean, look, I mean, you could just do so much with them.
You could. You could. You honestly could. I mean,
I mean, if you ever look at a chimp or a gorilla and they'll be using their feet like hands,
yeah,
that'd be dope. I think.
yeah. There's too many advantages to having hands for feet. I don't know how that would affect your balance though. Like, would your thumbs, like your thumb, I don't know. That would be weird. But,
Yeah. Go ahead.
um, I don't know. I think there's advantages to both sides. But here's one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather live in a world without books or music?
Mm. Okay. I think.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because to a millennial or anybody after, fuck books. I understand. Okay. I'm talking no literature. Okay. No articles on your cell phone. No weird Amazon Kindle things.
Wait,
Nothing.
so
No
does that mean
literature.
that nobody reads? Like,
Yeah.
like, do we not send like text
Yep.
messages? Do we not
Yeah.
write?
Books are gone. Books are gone.
But books are gone, like stories and novels and all that shit. But is writing gone? Hmm.
Hmm. I'm gonna
Because if
say
writing is not gone, and we just go back to like where people just told stories at the at a bonfire or whatever, and all that, I would
yeah.
choose keep the music. Well, I don't know.
Writing's gone. Writing's gone. Okay.
Writing's
Because
completely gone, and we only communicate verbally.
yeah. Yeah.
And visually, because I would imagine you could still keep symbols and stuff, because if you think about it, how many, like, on your day-to-day, like, you interact with so many interfaces that are just symbols, right? um
hmm
like, you could definitely know that a little X means that you close something, or that like the little power symbol, like, you can recognize that easily. So I could see us going through, like if we were, like, if ancient Egyptians lived in modern times and they still had the hieroglyphics and all that, and that was our writing system, I could see that. And then everything else was just like music, and maybe have stories told like audiobooks, but
Yeah.
I could see that.
I would like where I'm coming from is there is nothing is ever written down, right?
Mhm.
So computers will never exist because the only reason you see that little X is because somebody wrote that code. So there is
Mm.
no writing, right? There is no typing, there's nothing. It's just there you live in a world of music where people are all communicating verbally and whatever. But the act of using anything to record is gone,
Right.
right?
That's what I was
So
gonna say, that if you don't have computers, then you don't have a way to, like, having, headphones and
yeah, like you're like I would still go with music because it's such a there's like such a raw emotion there,
yeah,
that
that's
you
true.
can get, and without being able to, I don't know. I'm gonna go a world without literature. I don't know if that makes me dumb or not.
No, no, I could see that, because I mean, you could still learn things like our ancestors did, before there was writing. I mean, we still learned. Maybe it's not the same. Like, you wouldn't learn, physics and calculus and all that stuff, because you wouldn't be able to show that,
Yeah,
the equations and all that stuff. But you could at least, you know, everyday kind of skills that you could use, and that'd be
maybe but maybe there's like a hidden side there. Like maybe that's why music today is so bad, or at least rap is so bad, is because those kids don't read fucking books. They don't read any of the literature. They have nothing to talk about.
So you would say that maybe one thing fuels the other.
Yeah, because man, I'm telling you, if you ever listen to some good music, and that artist is a avid reader, their music is top notch.
That's true. And you can
You
tell,
know,
like when they're good, when they play with words, and like, not just like regular words, and they, like, somehow they make it where they have, like, more, like, the vocabulary is definitely richer, and they still play with words, and that skill is only gained through reading, and educating yourself a little bit more, with not just because you're using bigger words. I'm not saying that, but like the words that and how they tie in different
so maybe
flows
that's
and all
what it
that.
is then.
You know,
Is do you want to live in a world with shitty music and no books, or do you want to live in a world with a ton of books but no theatrical performances?
I would hate that though. Fuck.
Yeah. So where are you going? Where are you
Mm.
leaning on?
I think we could get creative with just sounds. I think
hmm
maybe wouldn't reach the full potential, and maybe in that universe would be like, man, could you imagine if we had books?
it would just be like a world of dubstep and instrumentals.
I mean,
Because nobody's singing about anything. Unless it's like country music on how
but
they
you could
like
still
lost their
sing. 'Cause You
tractors.
could you could still sing. You could still talk about shit, because that's how people used to live, right?
Yeah,
You know,
true.
they would gather around the fire and just tell stories and stuff. So you could still sing about stuff like that you might relate to. But oh yeah, that's yeah. I think
So,
I would still choose sounds, having sounds, getting rid of
yeah,
like written text, but and have a whole society just work with sounds and have that
yeah,
be our new reality. I think
yeah, 100%,
that'd be
100%.
I think the best way to do it. But yeah, damn.
Okay.
Okay, let me think of one. Um, would you rather? Okay, since we're on the topic of like hearing and stuff, would you rather lose your vision or lose your hearing?
Ooh,
Because like you just said, you were describing, how like impactful music can be and all that stuff, but then like when you see a sunset, when you see your child like smile or sleeping or whatever, when you see like, something like that, that also can have a huge impact. So, I mean, both
ooh,
both those senses are like critical.
yeah.
So,
I'm gonna
vision
go.
or hearing.
Uh, I'm gonna go vision, man. I like lose vision.
Mm,
Because the thing is, and the reason why certain scenes are so beautiful, like that you get to look at. Like I always talk about my view off my porch and stuff, like with the pine trees and the sun and everything. Hits it just right. There is a sense of beauty there.
mm,
However, most of the things that we get, we attach sounds to. Like when I look at this view, I attach peace to it because it's quiet
hmm.
and I enjoy what I'm seeing, right? So I can still have that peace and that serenity without being able to see it. But to not ever hear my child's voice, I think that would wreck me.
Yeah,
Not being able to hear the music that I've decided to listen to, and I think it would crush me.
yeah,
What about you?
yeah. I think I think hearing's really like also like we're talking about how it would be where like you would lose it. So like let's say like tomorrow now you can't see anymore or whatever. So
Yeah,
you would still be able to remember specifics like say like oh hey we're watching a sunset now just so you know, and you would still kind of be able to picture it in your head, like obviously
yeah,
maybe not the same sunset but more or less.
yeah,
So I think I'm gonna agree and choose losing my sight, keeping my hearing sense, because like out yeah, I think just the sound of people's voice, music, uh, I think all that would definitely. I don't
just
think
be
I
a,
would without that.
and then being able to listen to podcasts. I
Like
mean,
hours.
just when you lose your hearing, dude, you don't lose like all ability to learn things, but I can only imagine it makes it harder.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more things that are like imagine you lose your hearing and you're out and about because you can still see and everything, but you can't hear like a car coming or you can't hear
Yeah,
somebody yelling at you or whatever. And like whereas maybe if you're deaf but you're blind, you're obviously your other senses will be like more acute. So
yeah,
you could definitely get around easy. I think easier if you're at least it would be I think less dangerous to be uh blind but be able to hear really well than to be deaf, because you
yeah,
won't be able to hear possible dangers that are like I don't know,
yeah.
or
That's a
smell
long
them
road.
even or feel them.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah, I would definitely I think I would choose keep my hearing, lose my sight.
yeah, for sure. What we're talking about dangers and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Would you rather explore the depths of the ocean or the depths of space?
Ooh, both are very scary to be honest. Like the fact
I
that we
agree.
know so little about our oceans and there's some like real alien looking shit down there.
Yeah,
And damn, I don't know, man. Like, but then space, like if you're cut loose from wherever and you're just spinning there like forever.
Yeah. And you're just exploring. You have all the means to do both.
Right.
Like,
Oh, okay.
you don't have
So the
the
fact that
worries.
right, so the fact that the deep ocean like pressure and all that, like that's
Yeah,
not
none of that. Yeah,
okay.
not a concern.
Ooh, I think it would be more interesting to explore the oceans, to be honest, just because
Yeah,
there's more tangible things or possibly more tangible things that you could find. And because space is so immensely huge, and like the fact that the nearest like solar system would take you years to get there, and whereas the ocean it's like right here you could explore it, like if pressure and all that stuff wasn't a problem, like you could do it without being crushed or whatever.
yeah.
I think I would choose the ocean. You could definitely find I think you'd find more cool stuff. You might be wandering around in space for like ages and not find like even a cool looking rock that you could skip on the ocean that I just explored.
Skip it like 15 times. Nah, man. In this instance, I'm going space.
What?
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, because first of all, if I'm exploring the ocean, all right,
Yes.
I come across a megalodon, a fucking dinosaur that hasn't seen the light of day for years. I'm not doing it. I'm not. It scares the crap out of me because you got to think if you go into space, you're surrounded by, uh, you know, it's darkness, but it's not that dark, right? Like you can just look over and be like, oh, there's the sun. Maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
But the ability to go out there and understand that there are blue suns, there are red suns. You can experience different atmospheres. You can
But
experience
you might
different.
never ever see them. You know how far those are, man? Like it would take you decades
I'm
or
going.
even more.
Yeah, I'm going. I mean, I'm just,
You might
I'm
not
gonna.
make it to the nearest star to be able to see that, the red sun or blue sun or whatever. Like you might not ever make it
But
to
uh,
anything
ass-
interesting.
assuming that you do, just like the pressures don't exist in the ocean, time is a non-factor while exploring space, right? Like to go, put boots on the ground in Alpha Centauri would just be nuts. It's a world that's just like ours, right?
Mm.
And you could go there. And I always think it's so funny, like I know people when they explore space, they're looking for new planets to sustain life and all that other good stuff. But then there's also like, I want to see what's different out there.
Right.
Like why like it's cool that we can leave this planet and go to a planet that's just like it, but why not leave this planet to go to a planet that's different? Like a purple sunset in a
Well, I mean,
I,
when I think when they're looking for things that are similar, I don't like. I think they're just thinking of the fact that they might have water or the atmosphere,
yeah,
like all that.
yeah, for sure.
But there might be different things. Like there might be. I don't think that we're gonna have like it could be possible to find a planet that meets the requirements for life to to exist and to sustain life or whatever. But it might be like you said, like a different cloud system where there are different colors or the grass is blue. I don't know. Um,
I mean, just imagine that though.
I mean, I've always been a space junkie. I've always liked that, thinking about space and everything. But if I were just like thinking about what would be cooler to explore because it's more likely that you're gonna find something, um, I think space you'd be more likely to find something quicker than in I mean ocean, sorry. You might find
Yeah,
something quicker in the ocean than space, I think.
yeah. See, and I agree, you can find stuff, but I want to find otherworldly stuff, like because our ocean is vast. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's huge. There's so much to look at, so much to explore, but it's to the point where it's like the only things you're gonna find down there is fucking danger.
Hmm.
Versus you go to a new planet. I mean, you're gonna riddle that planet with weird diseases and shit. But I mean, it would be cool. Like the visual experience of going into new planets, new atmospheres, different sunsets, different visual
Mm.
things versus you're in the ocean and you know, you like you said, you'll find something quicker, but is quicker the best?
Well, I mean, maybe you definitely it'd be the turnover for like showing what you found would be. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you come to me and you're like, bro, check out this
The
fucking
shell.
fossil, and I'm like, yeah, look at this planet I just found with the cure to fucking AIDS or something.
Okay, that's
You
I
know,
don't
look
think
at
that's
this
gonna happen.
weird coconut. I call it a boconut because I'm Brandon and I found it. You know, you get to rename everything. You got a
Then I
whole
pull out a
planet.
fucking vampire squid and eat your face.
Damn,
Have
that's
you seen a
tragic.
vampire squid, by the way?
I haven't.
Those are scary. I'll send them later.
Yeah, I was looking at a whole bunch of cryptids this week, just trying to find things that you know are just weird. And I saw this one squid. It's like the world's largest thing. It's just crazy looking. The tentacles on it, like 20
I,
feet long, maybe.
I
I don't
just
know.
sent you on WhatsApp. I sent you a vampire squid.
Oh, science girl. Okay. What about what about different oceans on other planets though?
That would be cool. That would be the best
Yeah.
of both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, we kind of disagreed on that one, but so
Yeah. Space is
understandable
great.
for both ends. I could see it going either way. I think. Okay. Well, then, since we're talking about like kind of stuff that would be, I mean, no, this wouldn't really have anything to do with it. Actually, now that I think about it.
No,
Um.
ask it. Who gives a damn?
All right. Would you rather be constantly sticky or constantly itchy?
Oh,
Mm. Mm.
I'm gonna.
I
Oh
don't even
man,
know. I have to like hold on.
I'm gonna go sticky, bro.
You'd rather be constantly sticky?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make other people uncomfortable. I'm not about to be uncomfortable and
But
internalize
dude,
that
everything
shit,
would
bro.
your clothes, everything would stick to you, dude.
Yeah,
Imagine just like when you're like got swamp ass or like very like sweaty just in the middle of summer and everything sticks to you and how uncomfortable that is. Or just like be able to like you touching something and it just sticks to you.
yeah. But like, imagine just fucking scratching all the time.
Yeah, that'd get violent now that I think about it. Like it'd get to a point where like you'd have just you just have like scratches all over your body and like scars from scratching so much. Because you'd
Yeah, like
probably
I.
scratch like at first you might be like tempted not to, but obviously you'd have to because you're itchy. You might get to a point where you kind of like learn to
Like
live with the itch, but
the way I see it, being
that'd be a
sticky
bitch.
is your problem. You know, I'm
Mm.
sticky, but it's your fucking problem. You're gonna deal with my grossness. You know, but itchy, I'm the only one dealing with that.
So you say
You
that you
know,
drag other people along for the ride.
hell yeah, like you're gonna be just as uncomfortable as I am. You know, I mean, it would be awful. You know, just laying in bed at night, being
Yeah, you got
all
that sticky dicky. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that shit.
I mean, that's just like a whole different. That's a ball game. But when you're just itchy all the time,
You
dude,
got a sticky
like,
dicky that's coming all the time. That is
well,
probably
that's
sticky
coming up.
from coming all the time.
Exactly. I just came. Why is it so sticky? I fucking I'm thinking like I have a story about being itchy all the time actually.
Ooh.
So in my younger days where I would just hit the gym all the time and it was just all about my personal appearance, I
Mm.
was like, okay, well, the next stage for me to do is start tanning. I need to be darker. You know, I'm just like this pasty fucking animal
Right.
rolling around in the gym and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to start tanning. So I hit the tanning bed every day in a week. Every single
Really?
day I would tan for like 20 minutes. And I had never done any research on it, never looked into it. It was one of those things where I was like, I'll buy some tanning lotion, I'll go tan for 20 minutes, and then I'll go home. And I did it every day. And the thing is when you do that, I had looked it up later after this fucking tragedy came over me.
Mm.
If you do that, your skin, like, it does something to where everything itches. It is the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Like, you have clothes, you're scratching. It feels like you have little tacks under your skin all day and all night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything because I was just itchy. And it was one of those things I had to go to like a pharmacy to be like, hey, I'm itchy as hell. And they're like, here's some hydrocortisone. And I would just like bathe in hydrocortisone.
Well, I can kind of see that. Like I know when I've gotten a pretty bad sunburn, you get kind of itchy, and obviously you don't because you're so like burnt. If you
Yeah.
scratch, it hurts even more, and I could see that. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible, dude. It was horrible. And the thing is like the only thing other people can do
Mm,
is like, I'm sorry. You know, like that's all I got is like, I don't know how to help you. I'm sorry. But
right.
when you're sticky, that ain't a problem. You know, you're
Mm.
just sticky. You're weird. You're a weirdo. You're a goo man. You know? So I'm going to be sticky. I will never be itchy again. That was
Damn.
awful.
I don't know. I don't know if I think I'd do sticky just because also like I said earlier, I get to a point where you like start hurting yourself if you scratch so much. Even if you learn to not scratch,
Yeah.
it still you still have scars and stuff because um yeah, no, I go with sticky and I try to find a way to like not be sticky or not
Yeah.
as sticky. Mm,
So,
okay, yeah.
okay, would you rather um, be loaded up on psychedelics or stimulants?
Mm. Okay, what stimulants are we talking about? Just like caffeine, or how?
We're gonna go. Well, first, have you experienced anything that's not just caffeine?
I have not.
Okay, so I've had an interesting life. So
Okay.
we'll use it with caffeine in this instance.
Okay.
Okay. Overloaded on caffeine, like you're just stimulated beyond belief, jitters. You're just itching to do stuff, moving around, you know, just frantic all the time.
Mhm.
Or would you rather just be hallucinogenic?
The problem with see, I've never done any like hallucinogenic drugs or anything, so I'm not exactly sure how that. I've had some.
I think that the closest you got is when we popped like 20 pills of Benadryl.
Dude, I tried to forget about that, but yes, that was nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Although I did have another instance of that of seeing shit, and it was we made here in Spain. We made like it was like weed tea.
Okay.
Basically, we steeped some weed in some milk actually. So it was like making a like imagine like getting a tea bag, but instead of tea, it was weed, and let it seep into the milk while it was boiling,
Hmm.
and we drank it, and I was I was seeing shit, dude. It was crazy.
Were
I don't know
you?
what.
Jesus. What kind of
Yeah,
weed is that?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like we all experienced some sort of like something. Like we all each had some sort of experience like that, and it was weird as fuck. I don't know. Maybe they laced it with some. I don't know, dude. But
It's
it was
certainly
nuts.
possible. I could imagine. Like I've done my fair share of edible, drinkable,
Hmm.
whatever things before. It's a great experience.
Yeah,
So if you're choosing between that feeling or just being overcharged, where are you going?
I prefer overcharged. I think,
Interesting.
yeah, I think I because I'm already kind of jittery and like I can't like I'm the type of person that always like shakes it. I have like restless leg syndrome. I don't know if I like
Yeah.
really do, but like
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah,
Like where you bounce on your toe or whatever.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
side to side.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yep.
I do it all the time. So being jittery, I think I could definitely get used to it. And yeah, I think I'd choose that because you could have a really bad trip one day, and then that would just fuck you up, man. I think mentally that would just. Ooh,
I don't know. I'm on the fence, and it's because I don't have a lot of experience with psychedelics or anything like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
But from the
I would
research,
try some, but...
well, from the research that's done, man, apparently when you do, just the right amount or something like that, Lord only knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do the right amount, apparently it just like opens doors in your brain to
Yeah,
where like
like,
that creative side comes
but
out.
you would do that like every once in a while, not every day of your life,
Well,
constantly.
no, I'm just talking if you had to like if you came over to my house and I was like, all right, bro, sit down. You have your choice between a bag of mushrooms and a bag
Okay,
of Coke.
but
Where are you going?
right. Okay, well that's different. Like if
Yeah.
I was thinking of it like for the rest of your life, this is going to be
Just
your
walk
experience.
around seeing dragons and fucking.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
No. I mean, just which experience do you prefer?
Oh, then no, it's psychedelics.
Really? Okay, why?
I haven't tried them, but I want to try some sort of shrooms like ayahuasca or something like that
Yeah.
because I want to know what it's like with the right people that know, the right amount of like dosage and all that stuff. I don't want
Yeah.
to go crazy on that. Like I don't want to do it with people that have never done it. I want it to be like guided or into it. I don't want to do it like just hey, let's just do YOLO. But I would definitely want to try it because I want to have that experience of like you said, like people that talk about how it like opens up different
Yeah.
doors and stuff in your brain and I guess the way you interact with your surroundings and all that shit. You start seeing like colors and wavelengths and all that shit. That would be
And
cool.
and the cool thing is like if I'm not mistaken, you remember all of it. There might be like little patches or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but you retain a decent amount of that memory.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's a chance that you could just like hyper focus onto a topic,
Mm-hmm.
and just become like all knowledgeable on this thing. And then when you come to afterwards, you're just like, oh my God. Like there are stories of people like finding God or whatever. Like, yeah, I talked to God. We sat down. Is it real? No, but in the part of their brain,
yeah,
they sat down. They had a conversation. They found their religion, and then they just became like a different person afterwards. And I think just the thought of that kind of provokes me a little bit more because, like as you said, we're already kind of jittery. Like I'm the type of person I talk with my hands, I move my feet all the time, I'm running around. Um, like in a normal everyday situation, I want to be overstimulated, but in a situation to where I have a choice, hey, do you want to get geeked up or do you want to, go see some shit? I want to go see some shit. I want colors to be vivid.
Yeah, no, if it's like that, like I said, like I thought you were talking about like
Nah, I don't know, man. I mean, at most like a week. But like, have you ever heard of like hippies, like evil hippies?
I've heard of these, yes.
Okay. So like these motherfuckers, you know how like if you or I got into a disagreement, like we might come to blows, like we might fight each other, right? But supposedly these guys, because they're just like weak and frail people, they don't fight. They will fucking drug the shit out of you. And there's this like their warfare is like, I'm going to give you 5,000 hits of LSD. You're going to have no idea. And then I'm going to make you psychotic.
Oh, hell no.
And that's one of the things I was going to ask you. Cause you're like, with a guided person, are you like, I want to do it by myself. I don't want to be around other people. Like, I just want to be solo and then just tell like one friend, hey, come check on me.
I don't know. The problem with doing it solo, I think it'd get it. I don't know, dude. Like, I think paranoia might set in because you might, I don't.
Yeah.
I think having somebody there that you trust would help. because then depending on the trip, but like you might, I don't know how that happen, like how it works, if it's possible to have like two people sync in with like a similar type of experience, you know, like if you like, let's say like you and I took him, right, and then like you'd say like, oh, like do you see this pink dolphin,
Yeah.
and then maybe I start seeing it, not pretending to
Right.
see it, but like maybe I start seeing it, and then we all start having like this, you know, like D&D adventure, but with,
Exactly.
you know, but that's why like I think it, and if we had somebody else there that maybe has some more experience with it, just to keep us in check and not, you know, hurt each other or ourselves or
Because see, my problem is like, I'll drop shrooms and watch a documentary.
mm,
And depending on that documentary, like I watch a lot of like Viking documentary, Druid documentaries and stuff like that, and then just various things on YouTube.
wait, this is
Like,
something you've done or that you would do?
no, so what I do, what I currently do
Okay.
is I watch a bunch of documentaries. What I want to do is drop a bunch of shrooms and watch a ton of documentaries.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, because I feel like if we're talking about opening other doors and stuff, just depending on what you're watching, the reason I would go solo is because of what you just said. Like, what if somebody, you know, hey, do you see that pink dolphin? Well, when I've hallucinated before, I would scare the shit out of all the people because I'd be like, yo, do you guys see all these spiders?
Mm,
You know, and you could be having a good trip, and then you got this guy like, oh my God, do you see all these damn spiders? And now you're freaking
right.
out. You know, then that other person's experiences is kind of like
I guess it,
horning in
yeah,
on yours.
but I think it would just be fun to also do it with
Mm-hmm.
somebody else. I don't know. I mean, I would at least for my first time, my like, you know, trying it. I think I would like to do it with somebody that's already done it, or somebody that also already done it, and just watches, you know, to make sure that, you know, I don't do something stupid or
Let's
crazy.
let's organize this on like a FaceTime or a Zoom call, and then we'll get there. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
nuts.
like, do you see that dolphin?
Well,
No,
so
that'd be fun, but yeah.
so you know, going back into, you know, other worlds and
Mm.
everything, right? If you would you rather go like at any point in the past or any point in the future?
That's actually something similar I want to ask, because like I was thinking like, would you uh but wait, when you saying any point,
Yeah,
just
like
in history
wherever.
or your own history?
No, 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 no. History in general. Like I want to go back and try my hand at being a Viking. So I'm
Okay,
gonna
now
go
are
back.
you just a spectator or are you
No,
actively
you're a participant, hundred
okay,
percent,
okay.
with no knowledge of the current world. Okay, it's not one of those things. Oh, I'm gonna go back to the fucking '80s and invent Google.
Oh, so you were just okay.
You're gonna go back and be a participant in whatever what's going on. You're not gonna go
Would
to the
you
medieval times with
automatically
a
know the
gun.
language and all that?
Yeah, yeah. Like you would be like taking over just a person's body in there. You know.
Okay, so it would kind of be like Assassin's Creed, like early Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed, where you would jump
yeah.
jump into the Animus and you would just be like one of the your ancestors or something, right?
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
definitely do that. I would
I
definitely
think
go
I
back
would too.
in the past. Like I don't the future. I mean, I mean, you wouldn't like. Yeah, sure, it'd be cool, but I don't
What's
know.
your hesitation on the future? Like, what are you like?
Just like
What do you
how
think you'd
fucked up it
see?
would be. I don't know. Like I know the past is pretty fucked up too, but I
I
think
mean,
we know so much more about the past. I'm not saying that, like I know that the knowledge of the past wouldn't come with you. Apparently, like if I've understood that correctly, but at least I don't know. Like we don't know like 100 years in the future what kind of shit we'd be in. I don't know.
yeah.
And plus, I
What
don't know. Like in the past when I was younger, I think I've always liked the past. Like I always loved history documentaries and all that stuff. And but I did have a certain passion for like, oh, the future. You know, we're gonna have flying cars and all this and all that. But right now, I mean, sure, it's cool, but like I don't know. I like to reminisce on like ancient Rome and like you
So
said,
where would you go?
Um, hmm, I don't know, to be honest.
See, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try my hand at being a Viking. And
Okay, so
we're gonna
just
win.
to clarify, would you be a Viking or would you just be a Nord? Like you would be the profession of Viking, which is basically
Yeah.
a pirate.
Like I'm gonna get on a boat. I'm gonna go to wherever they went in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fuck their women. I'm gonna have
Okay.
a bunch of kids
Mm-hmm.
and spread my seed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mission.
Honorable profession for sure.
I agree. I agree. One of the most noble.
It would be cool, but
I'm not gonna rape. Okay, I'm
okay.
not gonna partake in the rape. It'll be 100% consensual.
That's I don't know if Europe has ever heard of that.
Yep. I will be the difference. It's like, ma'am, ma'am, would you
That's cool, man. No,
follow me into this chamber, please?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to like when were the Vikings 700 or was
Yeah,
that at their peak?
up until like the 900s and the thousands around that area, they were still active. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 800s Viking, dude.
Okay, I could see that.
Like just kind of in the center. That's where I've always wanted to be. I feel like that lifestyle is just I would just kill it. I would be
Well, see,
great.
like I don't like that's cool. Yeah, like I think in on paper it'd be cool, but even the fact that back even just a couple hundred years ago, how easier it was to just get up and just leave wherever you lived and just do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we're so tied to wherever whatever our occupation is or whatever is pretty new. Like it's I want to say like 100, maybe 150 years old.
Yeah.
How tied we are to society and how we must we're obligated to follow whatever society has set for us and whatever. But back in the day when you could just get up and you're like, all right, I want to become a farmer, and
You
you
could
go
just
and do it.
you could wake up, okay? And this is a real life thing, okay? This is why I want to live this life. I could wake up one day and go knock on your fucking hut and be like, "Yo, let's get on a boat and go find a new place to like live. Let's just
Oh
go
yeah,
like
yeah.
get
What am I gonna
land."
say? Nah, dude, I'm still paying bills and nah, like
Yeah, it's like get up. We're gonna go find
I'm
this
sure you'll
place.
find somebody that will find some excuse like, no, dude, I'm finishing my degree and
And that's where you lie to
yeah.
them and be like, "Well, if you don't die in battle, you're never gonna make it to Valhalla. So get your ass in the boat." You make them. That was like guilt tripping back then. It was like, really, you're gonna
Yeah.
stay here and tend to your sheep, you fucking weirdo. Get in the boat. Get in, loser. Get in, loser. We're gonna go
I'm going
conquer
raping.
South
Oh
England.
no, not raping. Pillaging.
No, we would be completely consensual,
Right.
and I
That's
wouldn't
gross.
spike their teas with shrooms and get them all weird, but I'm just saying I think they may have done that in several of their escapades,
Oh,
but
for sure.
I would definitely go. But then I also wouldn't mind going back and being a fucking crusader, dude.
I don't know because they're like you said, like you were just describing how you have that freedom as a Viking. You had that freedom of just you got up that morning and you decided to join or whatever, and you're kind of doing that for you. Whereas as a crusader, just some high and mighty king and just saying like, oh, we got to take this land back because it's ours because reasons, and you're just gonna go out there and die for us, which happens nowadays as well, obviously with modern armies, but it's still like I would rather fight for my own cause or whatever than just something that I might not even believe in. Like, being a
Yeah,
crusader might be just like, well, they're just paying for my, food or whatever. And that's why I'm
but
doing this. But it's not like I'm really
well, no, but think about it. Think about what was actually happening. Okay, you're in, what time period was the Crusades?
like the 1200s, 1300s.
12. Okay, I thought it was 12 to 14, but Okay, you're in the 1200s.
Something
Is
like
that's like
that.
medieval? I think still.
Right after medieval, I think. Right.
Okay. Um,
Wait. There were many crusades. That's also something that we got to say. Okay, it says here High Middle Ages, so from 1050 to 1300.
okay.
Yeah.
So
So
it's 1050.
so
You're
11 to early 14th century, more or less.
Yeah. So either way, okay, it's not 2023 with your fucking iPhone and your job and all this other shit. It's 1050. You're a shit kicker. Okay,
Mhm.
you're eating fucking boiled potatoes because you're a white European,
Yeah.
and somebody's like, "Hey, you want to make some money and go see the world?"
Right, but you wouldn't. You just pillage
You,
more villages
you
and
no, it was one of hey, you go in there, okay, make them believe what you believe, and if they don't, you can kill them, and you're not going to get in any trouble. In
nah. I'd
fact,
rather be a pirate
a pirate.
during that time. I would just be like, "Yo, you want to see the world? Let's go. Grab a boat, go to the Caribbean, meet some Caribbean chicks. You know what I'm saying, and then become uh become a pirate. Yeah,
Yeah, but then all the expenses are yours.
yeah.
You know that you're gonna have fucking scurvy trying to make out with a
No,
hot
no.
Caribbean chick.
I take lemons and oranges with me.
You're gonna go meet a fine ass Caribbean girl and be like, "What's up?" You're gonna smile and you're just gonna have green
Nah,
gums.
no way in hell, dude. I'm gonna have me some nice mahogany teeth. Like our boy George Washington. I'm gonna have
Dude,
some nice.
speaking of George Washington, hold on, because you just said something and I just learned this.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had like what you call it, like a row of some like wooden teeth maybe, but his bottom, or it was lead and something else.
He had
Okay,
lead in
and
there.
yeah, and then on his bottom row he had human slave teeth along with horse teeth.
Oh no!
So this dude was walking around like a fucking like everybody, oh, he had wooden teeth. No, the fuck he didn't. That dude had lead in his head. Okay, first of all, wow, because I'm pretty sure that causes like cancer and like
Oh yeah,
various
lead
other
poisoning is a
things.
real thing. That's why people don't use. And it took a while for people to realize that lead was fucking up.
Yeah, yeah. And this dude had it in his fucking mouth, and then he had human slave teeth on the bottom row, and it's like,
Oh,
well, that kind of that's a little fucked. But anyway, moving on from that, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I would. So there's I guess that could have been a would you rather one is would you rather be a fucking pirate or a Viking? Or are they synonymous?
I wouldn't say synonymous. I think the time periods are a little bit different from like what we know as pirates. I mean, technically, Vikings were like pirates. Like that's like their profession was to go out there and pillage and all that stuff. But they differ a little bit, not only in like time span, but also just like what they did. And I would definitely choose Vikings.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
wholeheartedly, dude.
at least you would be able to like still like it would go like in different seasons, like you'd have maybe some periods of like where you just like had a new settlement and you're just chilling there like they did with England, you know what I'm saying? Like the Vikings went to England and they started settling a little bit. Maybe they would go and for like a few months they'd go out and do some more pillaging. They might go to France, all that. But you would go back to like a base, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Whereas a pirate, you're like always, out there in the seas, and you don't really have. You might have like a little secluded little beach or something that you might go to, but
yeah.
it's not the same. Yeah.
So this isn't a would you rather, but this is a I like this question a lot. Okay, so
Mm.
you know how steampunk exists, right? Where it's
Yes.
a combination of future and past into
Mhm.
one thing. So if you could combine any like generational thing, like
Mhm.
you combine, the Vikings with
Mm.
the modern U.S. military, right? If you could combine ages, which two ages would you combine?
That's a good one. Um, damn. Well, okay. I'm gonna make it less, I guess, easier on myself, and just like say that I'm gonna combine with modern age. I'm gonna combine an X technology or whatever. So
Yeah,
basically, whatever combination I'm gonna do, it's gonna be with modern age, just to make it
yeah.
a little easier. So, what would I love to have in modern age that comes from something from the past? I think, well, I mean, like Vikings are definitely cool. Uh, I think just having swords and going on horseback and all that stuff, bringing that back. I don't. It's not a specific time period, but having that kind of stuff, like having where combat was a little more hands on.
Hmm.
Um, and using means of transportation that were a little bit like more like more in tune with nature and all that. That would be really cool. So like it's almost like going back to like well, I guess you had guns and like the west, like the Wild West era, like that kind of
Yeah,
stuff in the 1800s, like that, kind of like that, but having like full blown electricity and internet and all that stuff. And instead of guns, I think I'd like to have like more like swords and great swords and axes, like throwing axes and battle axes, and kind of like mixing Vikings with Western like cowboy culture, and bring that all to the modern like futuristic like electricity and internet and all that stuff age. I don't know, something like
I
that.
would love to see a cowboy brand a fucking cow with a Viking rune.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude. I
yeah,
mean, just Viking cowboy, like that mixture,
that'd be
where like
cool.
maybe less boats, more horses. Maybe less
Yeah,
rank
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
more like
yeah,
chivalry or whatever. I
yeah.
think that would be fire. But I'm
That
gonna go like a completely different route, and I'm gonna
okay.
say I would love to see um a what you call it? How do I call it? Like a cyberpunk samurai.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like they would have it. I could. It's hard to explain, but
Well, I
like I
haven't
would.
played the game Cyberpunk, the
Yeah.
but don't they have like a gang or one of the groups there is like Japanese inspired or something? I think
Um. I I know Johnny Silverhand wears a jacket with a samurai on the back of it.
yeah, I think there's
Um.
like a whole like there's like a company or I haven't played the game, so I could be completely wrong, but
The game is good now. It is worth the play now.
yeah, no,
hundred.
I yeah,
Yeah.
that's the reason why I haven't played it is because like I was waiting for it to get fixed, basically.
But just imagine that, okay?
Mhm.
Like a samurai, but instead of like a physical sword, they have to sheath and unsheath. It's
Mm,
just like part of them. It's like mixing cybernetics with the samurai warriors. They
mm,
can have like renditions of the same armor, but it would have like a bit more technology based
right,
stuff on them, right?
right.
I think that, I mean, easily would be the coolest thing.
That'd be pretty dope.
Just a fucking katana on your arm whenever you need it.
Oh yeah. So would it be like lightsabers type of thing, where like it would just
Nah,
be like
straight
energy?
blades,
Okay.
straight blades. You know what I mean? Like it's still like samurai era, but with it. You're mixing the two.
Hmm.
It's just the what is it? The aesthetics of cyberpunk with the samurai. So you
Right.
still have blades, you still have that old timey armor, but like with that, maybe that samurai has cybernetics or like some different
Right.
eyes. Instead of wearing the masks, they actually have those faces.
Gotcha.
Of the Japanese demons. I forget what they're called,
I don't
but
know.
like
Yeah.
I think it's like the Oni or something like that. But I think cyberpunk mixed with samurai would just be amazing.
That'd be pretty
Yeah,
dope for sure.
yeah.
Well, since we're on the topic of like history and stuff, this might be our last one, or maybe we'll fit another one in. But like, would you rather live 1,000 year life or 10 100 year lives?
Oof.
So you're still living 1,000 years, but in one case, in one instance, you're living a whole 1,000 years just in one life, your same life, and another one you'd be switching up every 100 years. You'd be switching up to a different life and possibly different time zones or different time periods.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm gonna go 1,000 year life, man. I think it would be. It would be. I mean, it could be a fucking nightmare where you're just like you contract leprosy in your first like 70
Okay,
years.
let's clarify like age stuff. Like, let's say you stop aging at around 35, so you'd always like during that 1,000 year life, you'd always be around like 35 years old or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going 1,000 year life. That way, you have time, to change things up. You have time to,
Pay your
kind
mortgage.
of, yeah. And then your knowledge never really like stops. Like
That's
you're
true.
just going with the knowledge that you will always have. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. But I know if you get like a break every 100 years, you might be able to be like, okay, so that fucking sucked. Let me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's another thing. Like, I would say that every life, in the case of having those 10 100 year lives, you'd still retain, part of what you had in the previous life.
now do you get 100, or what did you say, 10 100 year lives?
Yes, that's right.
So do you get 10 different childhoods?
Yeah, you'd have to live. Yeah, in that case, you live from when like the moment you're born till you're 100, and then you're reborn again, and yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think, I mean, I'm about to be 30 this year, and there's already been moments where I'm like, God damn, like please, like I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't know how
That's what I'm
well I would
saying.
do.
Like 1,000 years is a lot.
That's a long time, but I think I would prefer that. I
Okay.
think I would prefer that just because the knowledge never, there's no gap. And in 1,000 years, you can do a lot of things. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like if I'm tapping out in the year 2993, I think, okay, I'm good with that because you'll have all this history behind you. There's no way you couldn't turn yourself into a success.
That's true. But like,
Where
how would people see you? Like some sort of freak?
I would, yeah, yeah,
Because
they
I mean,
would.
imagine like you being. I mean, there's no way you wouldn't appear in some like history books or something.
I would just be pissed if, like, on like, I don't know, because out of 1,000 years, you're still adolescent in your first 100 years. I would be pissed off if I got incarcerated and got the life penalty. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm never gonna die.
Well,
Like,
I mean, you would outlive everybody, so they'll all be dead.
who's that guy?
Yeah.
Let him out of
Oh,
here.
he's
He's
always
been
been
here.
here.
Yeah. I think I could do something with that 1,000 years. What
It's
about
true. I
you?
mean, you definitely had time to, like you said, like learn so much, but so much would change in those 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
just think about like the last 100 years and how much has changed. Shit, the
Dude.
last 20 years and how much has changed. So, I mean, I guess you would always kind of be ready for whatever. I don't know. That'd be tough. Because restarting life every 100 years, that'd be kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
Especially if you retain whatever memories you may have, you're like, all right, here we go again.
yeah. Like hitting that reset button, and then possibly, being born one day in the 90s and then being born again in the
Right. Yeah. Because you
1890s.
wouldn't be able to choose where you were born or when you're born. You'd just be born again.
Yeah. You'd
So,
be like, fuck.
like, it'd be kind of cool in like the sense, like, maybe you might be born in like the ancient Greek era, like time, and then you
Yeah.
live there, and then you reborn again in like the samurai era, and then like that kind of stuff would be kind of cool. But damn, I don't know.
Oh, side note, I think mixing the fucking Spartan and Viking would be pretty dope. Anyway,
I could see that.
that would be fire. That would be absolutely insane. But nah, I think I'm gonna go. What about you? I'm gonna go 1,000 year life. Where are you falling at?
I don't know. Like I was pretty sure I was gonna say like 10, 100-year lives. Like that's right. And then like after like hearing you and then kind of convincing myself to, I think 1,000-year life would definitely give you, because you could, get up and just leave and go somewhere else
Yeah,
and start like a
like
new life, quote unquote, a new life somewhere else in a different country or whatever.
yeah,
Uh, and
like you,
so many languages and shit that you could just like fit in.
yeah, like you could try. Like, man, living in the jungle ain't that hard, and you go give
Yeah,
it a couple years,
yeah.
contract malaria,
And
but
then
you know,
you'd be immortal. Well, you'd be immortal until you're 1,000, obviously.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
going 1,000 year life?
yeah. I think so. Because like living 100 years, it could be, it might get boring to the point where like I mean, 1,000 years is a lot, but like it might be boring because like you were saying, like you might be born into like a shitty ass, you know, place or time period where you wouldn't be able to change anything. Whereas when you're 1,000 years, like, all right, well, I know that in a couple of years I might be able to change wherever I'm living. Or,
Right.
yeah, I think I'm going with 1,000-year life.
Yep.
But
Yep. Easy choice. So in a episode full of questions of would you rather's and all that other stuff,
mhm.
as I always do at
Yes.
the end of these beautiful episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We're in November here in America.
Yes,
Greatest
and in the rest of the world, but okay,
greatest goddamn country on the planet.
okay.
We celebrate Thanksgiving, and I'm curious, what's your top three things that you're most grateful for?
Mm. I am grateful for those, like my loved ones, those around me, those that are not around me but I still love. So that includes you.
Oh,
I'm grateful for those people. I am grateful that I have a roof over my head, even though it's not the best roof, it's not the fanciest roof, it's not the warmest roof, but it's a roof. And that also includes like having food and all that stuff.
of course.
And I am thankful for being relatively healthy, um, and having the ability to just move and exercise and be able to touch my toes. Just being healthy all around, being able to like hear and see. I know we talked about, would you rather be blind or be deaf or whatever. I'm grateful to have all those capabilities and abilities that we as human beings have normally. Um, yeah, so I think those three things are things that I'm grateful for. What about you, man? What you
Love
grateful
it.
for?
Definitely my family.
Hmm.
Work hard to maintain and build on what we have.
Yeah.
Um, Grateful for, and this is a good one, technology. Okay,
Mm.
because it allows me to keep in touch with my brother
Oh yeah.
over I mean just years, right? So grateful for all the things that it's done and helped, and then and of course with family, you're included in that, just obviously.
Yeah.
And then of course, the third thing is just going to be, see, I don't want to say health, but it is health. I mean that I'm able to like get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah,
Like
man.
in a world that's crippled with mental diseases and all this other stuff that's going on right now, able to wake up, do a podcast with my brother, uh, more than 3,000 miles apart.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm grateful.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. And
Yep.
I'm sure in the coming weeks we'll probably do a little bit something more on the topic of Thanksgiving. But I think, like you said, because it's already November, beginning of November, but at least it's a whole month that we can start, saying,
Definitely.
what we're thankful for and everything throughout the whole month. It should be throughout the whole year, but since it's November,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
have an excuse for that. That's
Special
awesome.
emphasis.
Well, I think it's been a fun episode for sure. We started doing the Would You Rather kind of
Yeah.
out of nowhere. You started strong with that first one.
Always be coming, brother.
I'll always be coming. And I hope you always be coming on over and
Yes.
joining us to this wonderful podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you all, for everything. Have a good one.
All right. See you next time.
Later.
Bye-bye.